article, Jennifer, what kind of response have you received, both professionally as well as maybe within your personal circle, if that's okay to ask? It's just something I'm curious about.
No, absolutely. I think one of the things that surprised me the most after the article came out was the volume of outreach that I got from
Mm-hmm.
colleagues I knew and from some that I didn't. A lot of them saying, "Oh my gosh, it's like you were talking, like I was the
In
one
my
talking,"
head.
or exactly.
Yeah.
And although it didn't surprise me because I knew from, some of my colleagues and friends sort of what they've experienced along the way, I think some of them were surprised that they weren't alone. And
Mm,
that's another step, I think, in destigmatizing
yeah.
the experience itself and the mental health aspects of it, is to know that you're not alone.
Mhm. Something that this is such an important topic, and I'm not trying to say something obvious. The reason I make this statement is because who better to lead the way than doctors to then open the door for destigmatizing mental health across the board. And I just think this is such a watershed moment for us as a global community for mental health and the services that are necessary. I remember when I'm the nurse in the bunch here, and I remember when I finished nursing school and I started practice that hospitals at that point still had mental health service. They actually had units that were providing mental health support, and it was just at that time they were starting to remove them because they weren't revenue generators for them. And that's really where we started to see the change of, are we here to serve the patient versus we're here to serve the bottom line type of thought process coming into healthcare. And I'm just wondering if we're starting to see the pendulum swinging back because we're seeing the result of such decisions on our communities. So just some thoughts that I've had.
Well, I mean, I think it was all a lot. You're right, and a lot of it was revenue driven.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to what I said about try to find a plastic surgeon that can close a difficult sacral pressure ulcer or a hip disarticulation or whatever. They don't exist except at the university hospital.
Yeah.
I'm in a town of 2 million people, and we have no plastic surgery access, which
That's
I
incredible.
think it will come back, just like what we're saying. I think this is a watershed. I think physicians, this is a wake up call for all of us to go back and say what Des is saying about Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, we're taking back the farm here.
Yeah.
This next generation, we're not going to do this. We want our families, we want lifestyle. Sure, we want to make a nice income, but that's not our driving force. We're here to help people.
Right.
And but first of all, we also have to take care of ourselves. And by
Right.
doing that, we're taking back our business because we're about patients and patient results and patient care. We're not about your bottom line and your boat at the beach. So I'm excited to see where that goes in Michigan. I think you'll see that go into other healthcare.
I am too. Like you said, the pendulum does swing back, and I think of how many hospitals started out as doctors' hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
They were founded by
Yeah.
doctors to do the right thing, essentially, and somehow over time, that they gave up the keys to the farm with that, and now here we are, and eventually, I think. Yeah, well, hell, you just walk around the hospital and you see all these guys wearing suits and ties and everything who weren't there 10 years ago. It's like, what does this guy do? And, there's more of that. So we know that the administrators have multiplied. They've grown exponentially. And, there's something's got to give for sure. And maybe that story up in Michigan will catch the attention of others, and it will inspire some too. Let's hope.
Well, depending on what is the outcome, it will either discourage or encourage, I think, a few more conversations to that end across the country. So
Yeah,
all eyes on Michigan.